Hi everyone, this is my family friend Constance, or I just call her Connie sometimes.
Hello.
Constance, say hi. Yes.
Hello.
And Constance, so my friend Constance here adopted a cat from, where was that?
Cat Welfare Society.
Oh yeah, the one that is very, very strict on, you know, where the cat goes after that, right? Didn't they go into your house and check everything?
Yeah, so they were quite, I wouldn't necessarily say strict, they were just more attentive about it. So the person who kind of handled my current cat over, she was the fosterer at the time. So what she did was actually just come over to my place to check it out and also like get to know me and my family better so that she knows where the cat is going. So she kind of checked the house out and also just spoke to us a bit on how to care for the cat and a bit more of like what this cat is like. And I think just now you mentioned why did I adopt instead of buying? So the reason why I adopt, actually, I didn't give it like that much thought beforehand between adopting and buying. I think because this was about 5 or 6 years ago, what went through my mind at that time was like, oh, okay, there so happens to be a cat adoption drive, and I've been wanting a cat for a while. That I've like done some research. So because of the convenience of like the adoption drive, I went there instead. And I think the more I went through the adoption drive to see what happened during that day, I think I understood more about like the importance of adopting. And also like, even before that, a lot of the media I consume related to pets are always like, okay, you should adopt instead of buying, and I got the reason behind it. Yeah, so that's why I adopted my cat. I think something else you asked beforehand was also like what the adoption process was like. So
Yeah, what was
I
it
didn't
like?
Yeah, so I didn't adopt him straight away. What it was like at the start was more of a fostering period of 2 weeks.
Oh really? I didn't know
So
that. So
the
they gave Jit to you.
yeah
Oh, the cat's called Jit.
yeah shit.
So
Yeah,
okay.
so we'll call the original fosterer number one. So fosterer number one was like, okay, you can foster him for 2 weeks to kind
Sorry,
of
cutting
get a
off a
feel of
bit.
what he's like and to see if you two are compatible with each other. And then so once he was at my place for 2 weeks, it took Jade quite a while, maybe about a week or so, to kind of open up and get used to us. But I think from there it was quite smooth sailing because he's very, I guess, loving to humans, and he also likes attention a lot.
Okay.
So yeah, that was And then like further on as like the days pass by, when we like the longer we own him, he just opens up a lot more and he's like very loving, and he shows that a lot in how he like wants your attention, or how he will purposely like kind of spend time with you, even though you're not necessarily giving him attention, but kind of like sitting close to you, or kind of just like looking at what you're doing. Wait, she still does now, by the way.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Do you? How many cats do you have now?
I have 2 cats. So
Wait, do you
Jade
adopt
came.
Butter?
I adopted her. I didn't adopt her through a adoption drive. I kind of found her in the drain behind my house, and then so I felt really bad for her, so I kept feeding her.
So you
And
convinced
then
your mom. She said yes.
yeah, I did convince my mom. Yeah, it took me a while because at first my mom was very what's the word for it?
Hesitant.
She was very hesitant to get a second cat in, and she was always like, oh yeah, once we get all of those paperwork done, we're gonna like put her up for adoption, which I was very upset about. So I kind of like slowly worked my way into like keeping Butter into the house. And it's been 2 years, so I'd say I'm quite successful.
Okay, so we haven't really got to like the official questions, because you actually answered most of them on yourself. Like the first one was where you adopted, where do you adopt from, and how do you do research? I think you said where you adopted from, and the media you got was about mostly how to not really like how to adopt. It's more of like you should.
It's more
adopt,
of like how
right?
to care. Correct?
Yeah.
And also like you should adopt.
So do you do a lot of research before getting it?
Yeah, I would say I did. So a lot of my research came from like my friends who already have cats, and also from like online researching here and there. And I think from there I kind of like got a better understanding of it. But even when Jade came, there were still things that were a bit unexpected, because like the nature of cats is like they can be quite unexpected. So what I didn't expect beforehand was Jade waking me up in the middle of the night asking for food or for company. So that was something I had to slowly get used to, as Jade was like here for the first few like weeks or months. But yeah,
Oh,
definitely over the years it like smoothed out better and we better understood his pattern to like kind of like suit his needs better.
okay. So, would you consider the adoption process smooth, like through Cat Welfare Society?
Yeah, it was really simple. Although I can't remember much because it was a long time ago, but it was really simple because it was mostly like this cat needs this and that. That was one. It's kind of like more of their needs. Adoption was kind of just an acknowledgement form of sort, if I'm not wrong. And at that time, the fosterer number one actually helped to neuter him already. So that was really simple and like really good of them to do. So it was kind of just like, for the lack of a better word, like a handover to us.
Oh, wait, what about the
Yeah.
fees?
Oh, dude,
Apparently,
I
the
don't
foster
really know
paid
how to
everything,
answer that
right?
because at the time I was like 16 or 15, right? So a lot of the fees and money stuff were like handled by my mom.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wait, but didn't you mention last time that the
Mm-hmm.
like the foster already like decided to just pay for it on her own or their own?
Yeah, okay, so what I can vaguely remember was that actually the fosterer just wanted to let us adopt him without a fee, but my mom was like, no, I want, because you did so much for him, I want to like give you like this small fee as like a token of my appreciation.
That's so sweet.
Right?
So you would say Cat Welfare Society is really good. Like you
Yeah,
recommend it for people to adopt cats.
yeah. I think one
Okay.
good thing about like their Cat Welfare Society website as well is that they're very like conversational and casual about like how you adopt the cats and also how they present their cats. So from what I remember the last time I visited their website, each cat has this so-called profile saying, hey,
Oh,
I'm
the
like this and
gallery.
that, I'm very manja, I like your love, that sort of thing. So I thought that was like a very welcoming way for people to like get more acquainted with the idea of like adopting a cat and to make it seem less daunting as well.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, next question. What were the considerations you had to make before adopting?
Yeah, so I think it wasn't too much because I feel like I'm a very relatively easygoing person. So what I had to like bear in mind was like, okay, some of my like spare time or my free time would have to go to like cleaning up after this cat or like maybe caring for it more than I would expect. Like let's say because my Jit, right, he used to be an outdoor cat, so he likes walking around my garden. So sometimes I have to like so-called take him out from a walk just so he can like, roll around in the dirt or whatever he wants to do. Yeah. And then another thing was that I have to be more wise about how I spend my money because like, last time I would spend my money on just myself on like things I want to get. But now a lot of my money also has to go towards Jit, like buying his food or other supplies that's
And also
necessary.
butter now.
Yeah, and butter too.
Wait, so as for the considerations, right? Do
Mm-hmm.
you like take into account like, perhaps before you adopt the cat, there's some like baggage the cat has? Like does Jin have any of these like traumatic experiences that like, make it difficult for him to adapt to the house sometimes?
I wouldn't say he does. He was shy at first, but I think that's quite normal for the cats. If you maybe want to count baggage, I think it would be more of Butter. Butter is very shy, but it's nothing that's very difficult to work with because she likes to hide in like small places like my sister's cupboard. She loves it there.
Oh wait, so actually for those watching this interview, right? I would also like to specify that even if the cat is not from an adoption center, right? It still does definitely have baggage, and sometimes you don't necessarily need a whole like shelter to adopt it from, like from Constance example. So wait, so any more like stories about like get Butter and Jit adapting?
Oh right, yeah. So I think one of the biggest things that of them adapting was actually bringing Butter into the house because Jit is very jealous of other cats. So he'll get very upset when he sees me like giving attention to other cats. So I think for the first year of like Butter being here, they fought a lot, but it wasn't anything too serious because like eventually Butter like started learning how to fight back. So nowadays they fight, but it's more of like they're play fighting because they're bored.
That's so cute.
Right.
You need to provide videos
I think
of Butter later.
now so they had a rocky relationship at the start, but now it's just like a very typical sibling. I want to like beat the out of you in a joking way relationship sort of thing.
So
Yeah.
they're just doing it because they're bored.
Yeah. but they know when to work together. That's what reassures me that they're like doing okay.
Okay, so now
Yeah.
I think the last question, right? Do you have any tips for those who plan on adopting, and what they have to be ready for?
Yeah. Okay. So I think So one thing they have to be ready for, like I mentioned just now, was that cats can be quite unpredictable. So something I didn't see Jit would do was actually like open my door in the middle of the night. He would jump and pull on the doorknob so to come into my room and like ask for food or like company or whatever. So I think that's one, like maybe like disrupting your sleep schedule the same way like a baby would disrupt your sleep schedule. I think another thing was that, especially if you live in landed housing and if your cat is like specifically an indoor cat, you have to find ways to like adapt your house to like keep the cat in while also like having enough ventilation for yourself. So that's why like my family decided to like install those like invisible grills so that we still have ventilation while keeping our cat inside, like for safety reasons.
Oh.
I think another thing to consider would be furniture being destroyed, especially if you have those fabric type of furniture.
Yeah.
I'm aware that a lot of cats really love to scratch them. So all of my dinner chairs, which are covered with fabric, are destroyed right now.
Yeah, that's why my family switched
that's
to wood.
something to consider. Sorry?
My family switched to wood. Yeah. Pepper kind of shredded lots of stuff.
Oh yeah.
We were too scared to have leather sofa, so we switched it. Okay.
Yeah, so that's definitely the other thing you have to consider, and I think it's probably the most major one to consider because it's like destruction of furniture, right? But other than that, I don't think I had to like adapt or struggle as much to like accommodate this little furry friend in my house.
So thank you for answering all my questions relating to what it's like to adopt a cat. Have a lovely day. Woo!